I do have a hair appointment scheduled next week. Fingers crossed that it doesn't get canceled. But if it does, I am prepared. If my water shuts off, I am prepared. If the power cuts off, I am prepared. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing well and having a great week. As for us here in Texas, it's been a slightly different story. We've basically been on quarantine 2.0 and have been stuck in the house all week. It's been really bad out here. The roads actually started icing over last Friday or Saturday or something like that. And I've lived in cold conditions, so I know how this stuff works. So yeah, I was able to get prepared for this week. I didn't know it would last this long. Luckily for me, I have had most of my power throughout the week. It's been cutting on and off, but unfortunately the water has been cutting on and off, and we have really low pressure. So a lot of us have been resorting to other means to stay in survival mode until all of this clears up. So prayers and warm wishes go out to everyone who is struggling right now. I know it's really hard, but we will definitely get through this together. So anyways, our water came back on this morning and I immediately knew I needed to wash my hair because I'm not really sure when I'm going to be able to do my hair again. So thank God for protective styles, right? I initially planned to do something really quick anyway that would last me about a week or two because I have my own hair appointment coming up next week. I'm going to get my hair recolored and blown out and trimmed and all that good stuff. So I needed to do something to it until that time. I went digging through my stash of hair and I found some spring twists that I had left over from some other projects. This is 3 bundles of spring twists in the color T27. So what I'm going to do is do some large spring twist in my hair because 1, it should be relatively easy for me to install, and 2, relatively easy for me to take down, all while still keeping my hair moisturized and out of the way for the weekend and I don't look like a complete hot mess. So anyways, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you guys how I install this hair, and then because I have nothing else to do, I might beat my face a little, so we'll see. So yeah, let's get started. I just washed and conditioned my hair. I did a really deep cleanse on my scalp, and I did like a light conditioner and detangled in the shower. For my leave-in, this is what I'm using, is the Talia Wajid Great Detangler. This is magic in a bottle. It works for almost every hair type. I can vouch for it, and works really well for babies and young ones. So, and a little bit goes a long way. The first step in this is I'm going to just part everything out, and I'm going to be using rubber bands to secure my hair down. And I'm going to part from ear to ear, the top of this ear all the way to the top of this ear, and that's going to be my first row. Top of the ear. It's not going to be perfectly straight, but it's all good. I just need this to be functional. I think I'm going to do 2 in the back here, then I'm going to part 2 rows here, stagger those, and then I'll do 2 rows up. Okay, so I am done with parting out my hair. I did 1 row in the back. I did 2 rows here. The second row, I think it's 5. The third row, I think it's 6. And then I think I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 up here at the top. I was very strategic in how I placed my sections because I want the hair to fall a certain way around my face. And one thing I forgot to mention is that I'm only setting my hair with this setting foam because 1, I'm styling my hair wet, and 2, I don't want my buildup to happen faster than it needs to. So instead of using Shine and Jam or any kind of gel to mold everything down, since my hair is already wet, I'm just going to be using this foam, and that's going to keep everything set and in place because you're basically just setting your hair. And I'm using my curls to kind of act as a guide for how I'm going to twist this down. So to install this hair, I'll show how I do it in the back, and then I'll come back and show you how I do it in the front. You see my hair is starting to dry out a little. I got my spray bottle handy. I want my hair to be wet for this because I want my hair to set in its curly state. And I'm gonna go ahead and just split these in two so that they're ready to go when I insert. Went ahead and did one so that I knew how to correctly explain this to you. But the thing about spring twist is we all know that most of the time the bundles that you receive, they will all curl in the same direction. From my experience, I've always seen spring twist always curl to the right, so it's always more beneficial and you get more of the look that you're going for with spring twist if you curl in the same direction. Now, it's easy to do when you're doing it on somebody else because you can always remember to go right or left. But when you're doing this on yourself, a lot of times you can forget which direction you're supposed to go, and that can make the whole process a little bit different. One rule of thumb that I use whenever I'm doing twist on myself is that when I am working on my left side, and I apologize if this looks different on camera, but this is my left side. When I'm working on my left side, in order to remember to twist to the right, I'm going to twist away from my face. Twist away from my face. On this side, which is my right side, I'm going to twist towards my face. So away from my face, towards my face. You're always going to be going to the right. I know that this particular bundle set is a twist to the right. Also, whether or not you pull the hair apart makes a huge difference. So I'll insert a clip here so you can see the difference. If you pull the hair apart too much, it'll start to become too kinky and you'll get more of that kinky twist effect. But if you keep the curls intact and you use the 3 strands or 4 strands or however many strands you want to and try to keep them intact as much as possible, then you get more of the spring effect like you see here on my left side. And it looks a lot cleaner and neater, but the more you pull it apart, the more kinkier it'll get. So let me show you how a twist goes when I'm working on my right side. Remember, I'm going to be twisting towards my face, not on the left side I'm going to be twisting away from my face. So I've got my spray bottle handy in case my hair gets dry, because remember, I'm working with it wet and I want it to be set. So I'm just going to use as much product as I need and wet it as I move along. For each twist, I'm going to be using 3 strands of spring twist. And I'm just going to kind of pull it a little bit just to fluff it a little bit. But I don't want to pull it apart because I want to maintain that curl as much as possible. So this is kind of what it should look like. And definitely keep those end pieces intact as well. Using my crochet hook, got this from my local beauty supply, but if you're looking for some, you can head over to my Amazon store. I have all of the braid school tools and products that I use listed on there. So yeah, I'm just going to crochet this at the bottom, pull that through. Now these are my 2 sides for my twists. I want to make sure that they are relatively even. Then I'm going to split my hair and I'm going to begin again. This is my right side. I'm going to twist towards my face, and I'm going to also twist fairly loosely. I don't want it to be too tight because you'll also lose the curl pattern that way as well. And you can tell as you start to go down whether or not the hair is going to spring up. And now as I get to the bottom, I'm just pulling the hair smooth to get the twist in there. And I'm just going to keep twisting until I can't twist anymore. And there you go. Springy. It's nice and plump and springy. It really just is a personal preference, however you want to do it. I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my head, and then I will come back and show you how I do the front and how I set everything and style it. We are back and I am done. And I did check the time. I started at 4:15 and I finished right at 6:15. Actually, I think it's 6:30 now. It took me about 30 minutes to do my makeup. So yeah, right around 6 something. So it took me 2 hours to do my hair in these spring twists, these large spring twists. It's just going to be enough for me to get through the next 10 days to 2 weeks. I do have a hair appointment scheduled next week. Fingers crossed that it doesn't get canceled. But if it does, I am prepared. If my water shuts off, I am prepared. If the power cuts off, I am prepared. I'm actually pretty happy with it. I like the length on it every time I do spring twists. Sometimes they end up being shorter. And for some reason the short look is just hard for me to get with, so I like the longer length so I can style it up and down however I want. And it's also long enough to cover all of my hair. By the way, these were 8-inch spring twists, so they are definitely long enough to stretch if you have long hair. I'm pretty satisfied with this. I'll probably accessorize it a little later on, but yeah, old girl is about to go up in the bonnet and probably won't see the light of day for a couple of days. So all the tools and products that I used in today's video will be listed in the description box below. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining me, because I am bored in the house. Bored in this house. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing for more content like this every week. We post braid school videos on Mondays, and when I get the time, vlog videos like this on Thursdays. Again, shout out to all my Texas family. I know we are struggling and we are gonna get through it, you guys. Shoot thumbs up on the way out, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.